Hello, everybody, and welcome to Board with Fins, a casual podcast about casual opinions on tabletop and board gaming. I am one of your hosts. My name is Tom, but luckily it's not just me, because next door, a beauty pageant has just ended. Now, the first place winner was whisked away to a glamorous after party, but I've managed to snag the second and third place winners. They're sitting here wearing ball gowns and tiaras. Wait a minute. It's Simon and Ita. Hey, guys. What are the chances?
It's a travesty that I didn't win.
And especially after all that doping.
Yeah. All this lip filler is going to go to waste now.
It really has paid off.
Yeah.
Really has paid off.
I wasn't even competing. This is just how I dress.
It was just a misunderstanding of the beauty pageant.
You walked in from the street and then just took you. Oh, you look like you're in the competition.
Yeah, definitely.
And they just gave you that silver medal. Well, congratulations. Hello, welcome. How you guys doing? Are you as hungover as I am?
I think I might be more.
I'm not hungover at all, which is rare for me.
So you're going to have to carry this.
Yeah, apparently.
You're going to carry this whole podcast.
Yeah, I'm the only one who wasn't blackout drunk yesterday.
Yeah, I've crawled home about 4 hours ago, so, you know.
Perfect. Well, we can ride that wave of energy as we talk about tiny, cute animals on hexes
and diverse
other Platonic solids. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Cascadia, a pretty recent nature-themed game that seems to be pretty hot now with animals on things. And then, I don't know, I guess maybe talk about Takenoko as a very mild segue from other animals, because it has one panda in it, and it's also on hexes.
It's very cute, though.
Yeah, and I guess the common theme that these are pretty gateway games.
Is Cascadia are the animals there cute or just realistic? But I think they're good games to talk about now if you guys are hungover and mental capacity is maybe not 100%, because these are just about the simplest games to show someone.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, let's play, and you take out one thing and go, you're ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I've at least been playing Cascadia recently, and I brought it to my folks' place for Christmas, and it is quite simple, but yeah.
Fun for all the family? Are we saying that?
Question mark,
potentially. So I guess if people don't know Cascadia or haven't come across it, could someone give it a rundown of how you play this game, what it's about? Where do the animals come in? Ooh. Tell me about the animals.
Well, I'll do you one better. I'll tell you about biomes and then about animals.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
So the Cascadia, the setup is that you're basically building a little. I like to think of it as like a national park that you're trying to build in the Pacific Northwest of the U.S.
and Canada.
And Canada. I think that's where Randy Flynn, the designer, lives in Seattle, and then he's just decided that I think we should.
I like these
animals. There should be a board game around Seattle.
And then he made the Frasier board game shortly after that.
I don't know what other board games he has done. We did this for one game in the first episode where we did a deep dive on Paolo Mori, and we haven't mentioned a designer since.
And let's not.
We shouldn't. No.
Shout out to Randy. Good game. So it's a game where it's kind of a tile-laying puzzle game where on your turn, you're going to take a tile, a hex, that's one of 5 different biomes. It can be mountain, water, prairie that looks like desert, and then you combine them into the hexes, and then you take one animal that can fit on one of the hexes, and then you put a hex and an animal down, and then it's someone else's turn. And then you try to combine them to make big, continuous, pretty biomes and put animals in configurations however they would want to be. So you score points based on how big your biomes are and how the animals are
if
arranged.
You've got salmon in a line.
So some bears like to be in pairs. Sometimes bears want to be trios. Sometimes moose want to be in a ring or a line or a stream.
Classic moose.
Foxes like other animals around them. Sometimes it's a pair of foxes with pairs of animals around them. Sometimes it's a fox with lots of the same animal around it. But that doesn't change during the game. It's just the start of the game, all right, I'm going to put foxes next to other animals. And then that's the rule. You need to remember to score foxes. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's one of the most I bought it because I just wanted an easy game to just pull out and sort of play. But I found it even more calming than I thought I would. It's weirdly chill to play that game. I know there's some decision making to it, and you can end up in a situation where you're don't know where to put this hawk.
We've got a useless hawk.
Yeah, but I think mostly it's just the calmest game that I can play, and I just love it for that reason mostly.
I understand where you're coming from, but when I've played it, I find it unbelievably stressful because I'm so shit at it. Like, that's the real thing. It's a simple thing. Like, there's 4... You choose from a market of 4 tiles with 4 animals.
Yeah.
And you pick one pair of those and you put them next to other things you have. And I apparently do that so badly, consistently.
You are... Because we played this a few times, and you are... like horribly bad at this game.
I'm usually dead last.
Although
I sometimes edge a third place.
But I have to say I am like wicked good at this game.
He's a savant.
I've never lost at this game, and I've played it probably 20 times, and I have never lost.
Okay, I want to play
of
with
Cascadia.
you. Yes,
He's
yeah.
a
I
man.
am. I don't know why. I'm just a savant when it comes to hexes
Nature
and
research,
animals.
yeah.
If there's like a world championship in this, I'm an enter. Because I have that brain in me.
So
I don't know why, and I don't
you can
even
see the code of Cascadia.
Yeah, I don't even find it stressful. I just find it peaceful, and for some reason, I score very high.
Like I bought the game because Simon was. We were talking like as we were leaving the studios after last time we were recording this.
Yep.
Simon was saying that like maybe your mum would like this because I was saying about like when going.
She hates animals.
Yes,
hates nature,
definitely.
that's what-
No, but like, and then I bought the game based on just Simon's recommendation, then took it to Kouvola with me, and then on the Christmas Eve, I couldn't get anyone to play with me yet, but I was playing the solitaire version of it.
And
I was
even
like,
that's fun.
it was actually quite okay, but
How
like
does
I was
the,
doing it.
How does the solitaire one?
You're literally just doing it, but like as you take things from the market always moves one away, and then just like it throws away.
Okay, so it's like just a conveyor belt.
So it's basically like a conveyor belt, and you're just competing to get like as high points as possible. So at the end of the rule book, there's like this many points is like 120 points is like fantastic, 110 is great, 100 is super good and whatever, and like 80 is shit, and then you end up on 75 most of the time. So
I was playing it the first time, and it's like I could see my mum was coming in and out of the room and watching me do this, and I was doing a great job of selling the idea that this is an easy game that everyone would love, because I was looking like, what the fuck? I'm just picking up tiles with my face like contorted into a what the fuck am I doing expression.
Goddamn mountains.
It's like I was like, Simon, what have you done?
Well, it's not a complicated game though.
Let me finish this. Like I was doing this, and then I was like at like about 10 rounds in of doing this like solitaire, and like, okay, now I think I'm getting it. And then I ended up like on my first playthrough, half of which I spent looking like what the fuck, I ended up getting like 100 points.
That's really good.
Which is apparently very good, which is I'm happy that there's a scale of like how well you should be doing, because then it's like, okay, then I get how this is supposed to work.
Far better than I've ever done.
Tom has never made it to 100 points.
No.
Ever.
And then I actually started explaining it to my mum and her husband and my 97-year-old grandfather.
Ooh.
And well, my mum loved it immediately, and she was like, okay, yeah, like as I explained it to her, I was like, yeah, I get it. Let's start playing. We'll figure it out. And she was like having a good time with it.
Yeah.
And which is great, because she usually hasn't like. Well, my previous experiences with her have been Ticket to Ride, which she has liked, and then before that we used to play Carcassonne, and then she just wanted to make pretty towns.
Well, that's an element to it, you know.
Yeah.
You can do that. You don't get points for it, but but in this game you get points for making pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and she I think she ended up coming in second. I won. Her husband was quite close second, and my poor grandfather was completely lost the whole time. He was like, me and my mum were playing his game for him, and he was just like, every time he's like, I just don't understand. He's like, which one should I like? What am I trying to do? And this is like kind of sad to me, because he's a very, very bright man, and I think 5 years ago, he would have gotten it immediately.
Yeah.
But I think this was also the reason, like, the situation ended with me like leaving the game at my mom's place, because she was like, okay, maybe we should play this more. This was fun, and also it would be good for your grandfather. So leave it here. And
brain training.
Yeah. I was surprised how well my mom took to it. I think she actually genuinely liked it, and I thought she liked it. Was pretty. One of the things I do want to complain about is that the rule book is about twice as heavy, like thick as it needs to be, and it's very intimidating when you realize that half of it is just like bonus, like are you doing achievement shit, are you doing the natural trails, and then like lore about the biomes and the animals.
Okay.
But I mean, because the rule book wouldn't need to be more than like it's a page. It's like you have starting tiles, take tiles, you score points based on this. It's like,
but like considering how much I've like piled on about Azul, having thought about this, I think this is very much like Azul in many ways.
I mean, yeah, it's exactly in the same. Azul, what is the other one? Calico.
Yeah, and also I think like I was thinking the last time I chat on it, like Azul, I was thinking maybe it's actually, I'm being unfair, because it also reminds me of Alhambra.
I was going to bring that up. That this is like to me
one of the greatest games ever made. Alhambra. Is that what you're talking about?
To me, Cascadia is a more chill Alhambra because it doesn't have the competitiveness to it of like we're all competing to have the most white castles.
I mean, we
are.
castles.
Yeah, but not directly. But me having 3 bears doesn't mean that it's 0 points because Tom has 4 bears.
No, but like I am when I'm playing it, I am definitely looking at I like those people have gone all on Savannah.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So I was going to ask then, is it? Well, it depends on how interactive you're approaching it. But it could be we're all in the same room but playing our own game kind of setup.
In many
is
ways,
that a problem or is that? Because your problem with Azul was...
It's this, exactly,
You take tiles from a market and you have a puzzle to solve, which is pretty much this, except with animals and
I don't
hexes.
know. I don't know why it's somehow better. Maybe I do need to give Azul a thing and go.
I think the puzzle in this is like... It's just less complex and less thinky. Like, you can't really think ahead in this game, really. You can put a tile here, be like... I hope there's a salmon tile eventually.
I do try and think ahead, and it fails.
It's really hard to do that, and I think
zen.
that we're all mostly working on our own things and not really looking like it's not really an interactive game at all. Apart from if I sit before Tom and you want eagles and I want eagles, you're never gonna get an eagle unless you top deck one because every time there's an eagle, I will take one. So maybe that's something. Okay, maybe I'll go for something else because he's going for that. But I don't think it requires that much like staring down on your table and not thinking about anything else that it becomes like an antisocial solitaire game. Like I feel like it's almost like a game where we're playing a game and we can still chat about things. We can still like have a drink and chat about other things while we're playing the game because it's such a like it's just a fun little puzzle that you do, but then you can also hang out with friends while you do it.
Yeah.
So how would you then? Obviously, you're very positive on the game, which is fair. But then, how would you rank this in comparison to then potentially other similar like tile laying, meeple placement games like the classic Carcassonne and then Alhambra? I guess is kind of a similar mechanic. You're buying from a central market, and your really only weapon against other people in Alhambra is buying what you know they'll want.
Yeah,
which is can apply in Cascadia if you have enough cash for it in Alhambra.
Yeah.
And then I guess Carcassonne, where everyone's building the same map, and that's a lot more confrontational.
Yeah,
because you can physically you're going for that long road, are you? Well, now the road has ended, and you've got no points.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to be in this city, do you?
Yeah.
Well, tiny city.
Yeah, I don't like Carcassonne, but I think I have to be honest with myself about the fact that I played it mostly with one of my exes and my mum and my little brother, and my mum and little brother didn't give a fuck about what we were doing, and my ex always won and was being like
just really loves building small French medieval towns.
Mostly this is the man has not been in my life for the last 6 years, and every time we play board games, my mum still brings up the fact that he kept winning with the goddamn layabout maanviljelijä, farmers.
Farmer?
Yeah, goddamn lay about farmers, because they're saying one of the things you can do is the farmers are meeple is laying down.
Yeah,
that's just a hidden way to get points as well. Because I get
no
points now, and the end of the game is 20 points.
It's a nightmare to work that out though.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, is this my field or is this your field?
Yeah, it's not. That is not the most obvious mechanic.
It's tricksy
to look at. But I think those games are exactly where what Cascadia competes in, or around those games. I also don't like Carcassonne that much. I like Cascadia more than I like Carcassonne because
Definitely.
I'm not sure why, but it's just it's very confrontational. But it's also I don't dislike Carcassonne. I just think Cascadia is it's a better chill game.
It's pretty dry.
No, but
it's very abstract. It's just laying tiles next to other things.
But you get the feeling from the game, the way it's designed and the leaflet booklet and everything, that you get the feeling that someone has really loved this thing that they were doing. This is truly a labor of love for this area of this time. These are people who are hikers and into this shit.
But then how much of that then is dependent on the animal theme? If you had a Carcassonne kind of animal, you're building a biome, so instead of roads, it's rivers. Instead of cities, it's forests.
I was talking about this.
they
my
have
mom.
that. They have a bunch of Carcassonne. They have Carcassonne Safari where you put you literally.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have Carcassonne Safari where you're in Africa. You try to make the cities are animal areas that you try to get as many birds in as possible, and they have that for Carcassone, for example.
But when then would you prefer that? I mean, it's still a more head-to-head kind of game.
It is more head-to-head kind of game.
But it's got animals in, so it's really it's fluffy and friendly.
I think the thing was, for my mom at least, it was that it made sense to her, on a very intuitive level, that okay, these are animals, they have these migration patterns, you have to deal with the migration patterns of the animals. It makes somehow sense as a game to get to new people, that is like, okay, you want foxes. Foxes are solitary animals that like diversity, whatever. Or you want hawks. That hawks don't need to be just like be able to see each other but not touch each other, and these kind of shit. And I don't know, I think I like it even more than I like Alhambra. I like Alhambra, and I think it's like we've talked about Alhambra's like aesthetic problems maybe sometimes before, but
it's of a time. It's
so ugly.
Look,
it's
what's
so
wrong
ugly.
with the yellows and browns of games from...
And the colors don't make sense.
That's also true.
And you just ignore, there's colors for the money that give you a tile.
When you play Alhambra, every single person playing it makes that mistake 5 times. When they have money in hand, they're like, oh, I'm going to buy that tile. I'm going to buy this for 12. And someone goes, that's green. You need green money for that. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you need red money to buy the green building this round. Yeah. And then it'll change next round.
Yeah.
It's the perfect game.
Yeah. But I don't like... I like Alhambra a lot. Like, I think it's a good game, despite its horrible looking. It's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like shit.
It looks like shit, but it's...
But you get to build little...
I know. But it's also, like, equally abstract as Cascadia.
Yeah,
I would say even more abstract than Cascadia. Because there it's like... You're just putting things next to each other in different colors, but they don't even...
You're trying to build a wall. Like,
you're
trying to make a...
Yeah, I know.
And it's sort of like...
But also, like, I think the difference between Cascadia and Alhambra is that I think Cascadia is the first level of this is a very casual, abstract tile-laying game. Then Alhambra is one level up because you have to plan a bit more. Because you have to deal with the money. And you have to think about the, like, orientation of things, and you think about the wall.
Yeah.
Like, and then from there you could move to, like, I don't know, maybe Carcassonne is the next step on this, like from abstract to planned to confrontational.
Yeah,
like.
Maybe.
But I don't like Carcassonne, so this doesn't make sense.
Because the decisions you can make like increases there. Because Cascadia, you can't really make a decision. You can do one thing. You pick a tile on an animal, you put them down. And then in Alhambra, you can buy a tile or not buy a tile. You can just collect money and hope other tiles come up. Yeah. Or do things, which that's not a decision you do in Cascadia. You just do a thing. And then Carcassonne is... You have to place a tile, but then you have to basically, again, decide, do you put a meeple there somewhere? Do you not? Where do you put it?
Well, it can only be on the tile you place. So it's literally, you fit a tile, like, do I want to put a meeple
it's
right there,
only
right
on
now?
that tile, yeah. But which way do I put it? Do I put it laying down? Do I put it on this road? Do I save them? So I think decision-wise, like, Cascadia requires the least amount of thought.
Like, why am I so bad at it, Sim? Why am I so consistently poor?
I don't know.
What you say is a simple game that you shouldn't need to
what I like. What I think why I like Cascadia so much is that it's really like, I just feel. I don't know if it's the nature theme, if it's just the way it plays. I just feel calm when I play it. Like, I just feel relaxed. It feels like a nice cup of coffee or tea, and like I've opened a nice little book that's cute, and there's like a fire on, and it's just like a cozy game. And then the puzzle is fun because it's like a 2-layered puzzle, whereas like sometimes you're like, oh, I want to build a biome, but this doesn't have the animal on it. So do I screw up my biomes, or do I just start a new animal from here somehow? And then like that's the like main thinking you have to do is like, oh, this tile will either screw up biomes or will make me start a new animal somewhere else. And
also I like the replayability of it. It has more variance in it than Alhambra or most other things because of because each... When you start the game, you choose from these. I think there's 5 for each animal, and you can choose like migration patterns. Let's call them. Yeah. Like, okay, sometimes hawks want to be like. I've only actually played the first set that the game comes with because I didn't want to confuse my parents too much.
Oh, your grandfather would have been.
No, like this is also like I was thinking when you were saying it's a really nice and cozy game. We were having a really cozy game, except every time it came to my grandfather's turn, and we were I'm trying to help him without feeling patronizing about this, and it's just like
just do random stuff, nice animals.
I mean, you can't. He'll do as good as Tom did.
Yeah,
he was doing quite
well. That would
well.
be a real clash of the titans. Me versus a 97-year-old man.
I was like, the 97-year-old man doesn't understand it, just puts tiles down. Tom really taking 10 minutes per turn, being like, how do I do it? And you end up on like 88 to 89 points.
Yeah, it's like, don't you dare take that fucking bear, old man. Just getting really irate.
And they go, bear? I thought they were raccoons.
God damn it. So if you want to be like just see it, me in despair and then swearing at an old man over him taking a salmon that I wanted.
Yeah, but you own. Yeah, but you. So then, like the question back to you, you own both Alhambra and Carcassonne.
I do. Yeah.
So how do you rate it against Cascadia? If that's the sort of ramp up that we've put this on.
So I understand that it's a good game. Like I understand that straight out of the box, it's incredibly playable, and the pubability.
Yeah.
Way up there. Way up there. I mean, it's literally just open the box. Okay, now we're playing. Pretty much.
It's a bit like some of the colors are a bit difficult. I haven't played it in Kaisla yet, but
Oh, for a true probability.
Wait, are they though? Because there's also like a picture. I know the pink of salmon and the orange of a fox, maybe like in pub lighting. But then there's the picture of a salmon or a picture of a fox. Like
I was having some like.
Okay.
They played by candlelight.
Yeah.
Out in the sticks.
All right.
Out in the old country.
Compared to Alhambra, this is still like that is.
We could do a head-to-head tonight. I'll bring Alhambra.
Yeah, but you were saying like it's a good game and it's very probable and.
But I think I still would pick off, if I had all three, I would still pick off Alhambra for me, I think is the best one. I got Carcassonne because it's basically €5 to buy it. Like, they're giving the copies away because it's been
existed
around
for so long.
It's
been reprinted however many times.
Yeah.
It's like Monopoly. You can't not find a shop that has it. It's like every bookshop, everything will have it.
Yeah. It was no money. It was a classic. It was like, okay, I'll get it. Why not? And I don't know if my choice comes down to me being really a real fucking softie that I've never fucking won the game. I'm like, well, it's a stupid game then, isn't it? But that's why I wouldn't pick it up. I hope it isn't that. But like, yeah, my experience is like, I understand that it's super simple and you say it's super chill, but I'm like, every time I play, I'm like, I'm never going to get this bear. This bear's never going to come out. For like 20 minutes, go, well, there's another bear. Oh, it's gone. Great. Everyone there with their lovely bear families. And I just get really angry with other people having bears and then me not getting bears. And they're like, oh, it comes to me. What's left? 4 hawks. Like, God damn, I don't want hawks.
Yeah, but then you can refresh the market.
Yeah, refresh the market. What's coming out? 4 foxes.
Refresh it again.
Hawks again?
Yeah.
Hawks are back out. 2 hawks, 2 foxes.
Yeah.
I don't want any of these animals. Then as soon as someone else goes, oh, I really want a moose. Oh, out comes a moose. Oh, nature's brilliant for everyone else except Tom.
So you're saying you're just salty because you have bad luck in the game.
I think it might come down to that.
It is a very sort of luck has a huge player in this because if like you can't build bear families if you never get a bear.
Then you just adapt. But I think it might be that Tom is the anti-Disney princess.
I hate nature. I would bulldoze this mountain down if I could. It's like
why isn't it building roads and malls?
Yeah.
And
you want
mines.
It to be like
I want to build quarries.
Yeah.
With,
I'm sorry if you hate progress, guys.
Yeah.
Can there be a version of Cascadia where we displace animals and get points? There used to be a family of foxes here, and now they're gone. 10 points. I'll do the 21st century capitalist version of Cascadia.
No. I don't want to play that. That's too real.
Come on, strip mining.
Come
on, strip.
Fracking.
That's too real. Just pretend. So I know how we do it. So we play a game of Cascadia,
and then we
on the terraforming Mars map. So on Mars, and then we play terraforming Mars after that.
On top of the fun.
I might just.
That might make both games better.
I might just have to headcanon. So instead of like a fox, that's a fracking plant, right? Instead of a hawk, that's a nickel mine. Maybe that's how my brain could approach it because I don't understand the movements and whimsies of the natural world.
But I definitely want to see Tom. I want to play this with Tom. Because I haven't played it with you guys at all.
I will straight up lose.
But also, I was thinking about this when we were talking about against Alhambra, because Alhambra I've only played with you two, and then some additional people are like, and it's usually been like people who are at least vaguely into board games. So it's like it's a very different dynamic immediately. And I've only played Cascadia now by myself and with family members who are barely into games.
I would definitely say the theme of Alhambra is a tricky sell
if
someone isn't into board games.
It is hella abstract though. Like it could be anything.
Yes, but it's also about building Moorish castles in Spain.
Yeah, I know.
But I love I've actually been to actual Alhambra, and I kind of want to go back. Like it's been maybe 20 years at this point, and I'm still every now and then I'm like, maybe I should go to Alhambra because Alhambra is great, and I could sell that to my mum maybe because she also was there obviously at the time.
But what I mean that like
but
it
for
could
most
be
people,
like it could be anything that's of different colors that you put down squares and then you have to make a wall. Like the fact that it's an Alhambra is the fact that it's a Moorish.
It could just
as
well
be
different
is
shape.
like
It could be different colors of sheep.
It could be. Oh, you're building New York sky rises. Next to each other.
Look, I don't want to boil this down too much. that's all board games. They're all abstract.
Also, like
there's not actually spaceships when we play.
No, I know, but some of them are more like.
But they could be like herds of sheep.
I know, but some board games are more abstract than others.
As we're talking about sheep, what was the name of the game we played on pub crawl?
Battleship.
Battleship.
They have it in Panda-centric. I always look at it, and then we're there with Tegan, and she's like, "Should we get it?" And I'm like, "It's really cheap," and it was more fun than I thought it was going to be because it's actually like there's some thinking to it of like where do you place your sheep. I mean, we'd never play. If I buy it, the point is we'd never play it, but I just have it.
I mean,
but you can have a just-in-case game.
Yeah, like anytime you would play Battleship, you would instead play Cascadia. But I think Battleship was like a animals on tiles game that was surprisingly complex and surprisingly fun. We picked it up in like one pub somewhere.
But
because
that
just
game,
had it, and
it could have been
weird.
that I was horribly drunk.
We were all
then,
quite.
But I was so bad at that game. I was just locked in as soon as the game started, and I was like, cool. Most of my sheep are now in that corner; they can't get out.
Yeah. So the game was you had like random kind of hexes or tiles.
Yeah.
So the game board was really oddly shaped.
Yeah, and then you have like piles of
sheep,
and then you can move them. You have to move them like in a straight line. Like you can't stop in between in a straight line until you hit a wall.
Another sheep.
Yeah. As many as you want, and then that's your turn. And then you basically leave a tile there. And then at the end of the game is like who has the most tiles claimed.
Every time you move, you poop out a sheep.
Yeah. Like, or you leave a sheep where you
number of sheep.
Or you don't have to. Yeah, you can number, because you can move several times from each hex, basically.
And then like, it's like you can, because you can move a stack of sheep, so you can like split your big stack of sheep into twos, and now you have two stacks that can like start spreading, or you can move everything into one place and be like, see one and get fucked.
And then just get
But Battleship isn't really like Cascadia, though, or Alhambra. It's a completely different type of game.
Yes,
that's an area control game at its simplest core.
It's chess 2.0.
Yeah.
But it's cute animals.
That's checkers, is what that game is. But you can't jump over anyone. It's checkers, but it's just area of control.
And more players. Yeah.
Yeah, and more players.
So is Battleship the new Cascadia?
I like Battleship.
I think it might it might actually be one of those things where it was very fun when we played it because we were all drunk and it was your birthday. It might actually be a really bad game.
Maybe.
I assume that even in really terrible games we can make it competitive after about 2 drinks.
Yeah.
But at the probability at least we can like vouch for because we found it in a pub.
Probable.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that it had enough pieces that we could play.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't actually check if it had the right number.
I don't think everyone had the same amount of sheep to start with. But did it matter? No.
Not the fucking... Yeah.
Oh, my word.
So, should we talk about Takenoko? As we are talking about vaguely related things that are like with some animals, at least one animal type, and some shape tiles.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of still on the kind of gateway... Maybe we'll just do like gateway tile theme for this, because we're apparently doing all these kind of pretty old school games now, to be honest.
Well, Cascadia is new.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
but like it was
the new kid on the block.
It was actually all sold out, or like I went to Fantasia-pelit and I saw it like on the website. It was like, oh, there is some in there, and then I went and because you cannot really figure out where things are supposed to be in Fantasia-pelit because you just have to ask.
It's a mess. I love it.
Yeah, no, like I went through everything. I was like, okay, I just can't.
Is it? Oh.
It's alphabetical.
Is it?
Is it?
Holy shit!
I haven't
because I've like, I haven't even figured out where the like language barrier Finnish English games goes. There's
they have a shelf of Finnish language games, and like it's on its own
but sometimes
side.
Anyway.
Okay,
point is like
not the point.
Not the point. Point was like I was looking for it, and then it was like okay, I'm
not
just like it's like the pre-Christmas, like Christmas Eve, like or like the day before, like rush in Fantasia-pelit, and I was like, I just cannot find it. I'm carrying a fuck ton of things because I'm going to like train from here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, hey, sorry, can I get Cascadia? It says here that you have it, and the guy says, yeah, I just saw it somewhere, and then like
it's
follow
in the
me.
C section.
Yeah. No, like it was like I guess it's like it's being shelved, and we found like the box it had come in, but there was none in it, and then just like, and I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm just like, okay, get stuck on some random like dice or some shit, and then like, oh, who was looking for Cascadia, and then he found the one box that was
Hero.
Lucky. That's good.
Yeah. But like that's what I'm saying, that it was apparently one of the very like popular games.
It's incvertly popular right now.
I could only find the Finnish version
because it's
but it doesn't really
so
matter.
great.
Yeah, what? Oh, just the instructions.
My version is German.
You can't really tell. It doesn't matter.
It does not matter.
That's one of the things I really like about
I sometimes have to look up what like in the start I had to look up some of the more complicated animal things of like what does this actually mean.
Yeah.
But you can find a manual in English and then
Sorry, like sidetrack. Have I played Nuked with you guys ever?
Nuked. I have not played
because
Nuked.
It is like this. It's like I'm indicating with my hands a game that is about this like the dimensions of XY of like a box of matches and then a bit higher. But like that's it's the most portable pub game.
Wow.
No.
And has zero like words in it. It's like this post-apocalyptic, like you are building a bunker in a world that like you have nukes, so you can nuke other people's bunkers and shit. It's like it is.
So it's a friendly game.
So it's like battleships, but
no, it's like.
How does it
like
function?
you have I haven't played it in a very long time because it's friendship ending game.
So we've gone from cute animals to let's build bunkers and nuclear war.
Nuclear apocalypse.
Like this is just a complete sidetrack that just came from the fact that I bought it at the time because we were playing it at the job I had like 4 years ago, and it was a great game to introduce people to because you didn't have to have basically a common language because there's no words in it. Everything is pictograms about nukes and like. Canned food and like a bunker, but you're just like you're like it's small cards in a box and you're just like you collect a hand and you have settlers and you build a bunker. You can try to protect them from things. You can try to like collect food for your settlers and you can only buy settlers with food and whatever. And then someone might sick a plague of locusts on you and they will eat all of your food unless you have a bunker that will protect you from them. Yeah.
So it's like an area of control game? Is it on the same map or you're just doing stuff on your own?
You have your own, but
so
it's incredibly confrontational.
I'm assuming cards from your hand, play cards from your hand in front of you, that is your base.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you can also play from your hand, you can play one thing and it can either be food, or then you can like trade the food for settlers, or you can make a bunker that will preemptively be like you cannot nuke me this round, or if someone is trying to nuke you can like as a reaction you can play a truce, which means I have not been nuked, we made a truce, or you can make something else that will protect you from the locusts, or you can then play on your turn a swarm of locusts on someone else or a nuke on someone else.
Super friendly game.
No,
have you played Lunar Base?
No.
It's a little bit similar, but you build a little moon base. I think this is what Terraforming Mars should be. Because it takes about 30 minutes and it's equally complex almost.
Yeah, but the point is like games that don't really require you to read any rules in any language. Like Alhambra does require you to read the rules because it's quite complex. But like if someone knows the game, then you don't really need. There's no reading in it.
Yeah, there's no writing on the tiles of the cards.
Which I think is true for all of the games we've now talked about. Like it's like Cascadia. There's not really any reading. These all pictograms. Alhambra. Carcassonne.
There's nothing. You just have to kind of know how to score it at the end.
Yeah, and then like Takenoko as well.
Yeah, that's all symbology as well.
Which I think makes I think it's one of like I said, the reason I bought Nuked, it was a Kickstarter game at the time, was like because I was playing in quite diverse group of people and not having to be fluent in any single language was super useful for them.
And it's good to have just like a pocket game that you can just carry around just in case.
I used to always carry it around, but then I tried to get people to play it with me and then it failed spectacularly like twice and then I haven't brought it out in like 3 years.
Is it because you kept sending swarms of locusts at their play?
I mean,
I've got a lone survivor.
Let's play this fun little game. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're dead. You're dead.
I've nuked
classic.
I've nuked you. You're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me building my thing. You're dead.
Yeah. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're out of the game. You've lost.
I love learning new games with people who are just like, you're dead. I know the game better than you.
To be
just
fair,
kicking sand in your eye.
But it's one of those where it's not really about knowing the game or not.
No,
it's just about,
I'm not saying it is.
But that's the good thing about it because it just very quickly, depending on the crowd, becomes a game of grudges.
Great.
Love grudges.
I mean, we thrive on grudges.
Yeah. But you should. I mean, how many people can play it?
I think it scales up quite high.
I mean, bring it today if you
can.
will.
If I find it, I will bring it.
Sounds good.
Bring all these classics.
So Takenoko.
Yeah, can you pitch Takenoko?
This has slightly less nuclear apocalyptic.
I have not played this game.
To be fair, it might be set in a post-apocalyptic thing, and we don't know.
Where only pandas survive.
Yeah.
And 2 Chinese
in
people.
a wasteland.
That would be great. Like the animal which like least deserves to live, in my opinion. Like it's the worst animal by far. Pandas, they suck. And
they're tricky.
If they're the only ones who survive nuclear apocalypse, that would be quite ironic.
It would be the funniest thing because then they would die immediately within 15 minutes. From
they already should die. They should just go extinct.
I think someone worked out like how many species they could have saved if they didn't spend all the money on protecting pandas.
Yeah.
Was it like...
It was a lot of species. It was like
pandas want to go extinct. I know humans are causing climate change and we're causing lots of animals to go extinct. But also animals have always gone extinct, and maybe pandas were just supposed to go extinct, and we're here trying to save them.
Would you buy a panda-based Cascadia expansion? Or would your moral fibre mean that you hate pandas so much?
I mean, I think I would buy it, but I think I would never pick a panda.
Yeah, but it would be so cool because it would have pandas and it would have this Chinese river dolphin, which is also extinct. And like...
Well, the thing about Cascadia is that I don't think you can really do expansions to it, because you would have to have a complete new set of tiles that you can't really mix with the old ones.
No, you would have a different, you'd have just basically a reskin.
It would have to be a new game completely, because you couldn't add something in unless it's like scoring those animals in a different way.
No, it would have to be like a different, it would be basically a reskin. But I could I would be interested in, because like Cascadia has the thing about
which makes me a little bit sad.
Yeah, but it has quite high replayability, and maybe they'll figure out a way to do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they'll add new animal migration patterns, whatever. But because Cascadia also has the thing where they describe the biomes, and I was reading the fun animal facts to my family as we were setting it up.
Just forget by the open fire.
Facts.
Literally with yeah.
See, it's just a cozy, nice game. I'm not saying it's as much of a game as Alhambra, but it's a cozier game than Alhambra.
It's true. Especially my own despair warms me when I'll never get that 5th salmon. I'll never get it.
It's almost like sitting next to an open fire with Tom fuming.
Yeah. Just the power of my size just heating everyone around me. Just oh god, more hawks.
But I mean, I have had the exact same, because I think I'm terrible at Alhambra. On the other hand, and I've had the same feeling in there, is when I've saved up money for something,
don't buy it,
and then the only thing I can buy is something that I don't have. I don't have that color of things, and the only thing I have is white stuff. And then Tom's just bought with exact money 4 white things in a row, and I'm like, great, he's now taken the only thing I could score that I now can't score, and it's I now have nothing. The point is, because I've just had the wrong money, and then something comes out which is an incredibly expensive purple, and I don't want that. No one wants that.
I don't think. I'm trying to remember if I've actually won Alhambra. I don't think so.
I'm not very good at Alhambra, because I go in on the wrong. I think
Ruby is a weapon.
Yeah, I was going to say
Ruby. But the amount of times she can go exact money, because the thing about Alhambra is that you can basically buy one thing and place it, but if you pay exact money for it, you can do an extra thing. There's an extra move. So she just goes exact, and buys 4 tiles.
Yeah, has an entire round by herself.
Whilst I have to wait. Yeah. 4 times to get enough money to overpay for 1 tile.
Well, I'll pay 12 for this 3-cost building. Oh no. Perfect game. So much better than ours.
It's a fun game.
I'll bring it out.
Yeah.
But I'm also now thinking more and more, but maybe I really do need to give Azul a go, because I also saw this might be why I have this feeling, because someone had listened to this podcast and told me yeah, I feel you on Azul, but did you know that there's a new expansion and it's called the Queen's Garden, and it's really pretty. It has the exact colors that I wanted to have. And
but did you not like Azul because you thought it was ugly?
No,
or because
I
the gameplay was bad?
Because I thought the gameplay was bad, because I wanted to like it because it was pretty. It was exactly my mom's style. That's why I was going to play. Now, having played Cascadia with her and having been maybe I was being unfair. Maybe I need to give it a different go, because maybe it is just Cascadia but with a slightly different theme.
That's very adult of you to give it another try. I will never give Scythe another try.
I was going to say,
terrible game.
Well, if we've 180'd on Azul, how long until the Scythe love comes in?
Never. I'm never playing that game ever again. It should burn in hell.
With pandas.
Yeah.
With all real-life pandas. That's the take-home message from this.
Absolutely.
Scythe should burn on a pile of burning panda corpses.
It's so bad. It's such a bad game. But I heard from someone who a friend who listened to the podcast and said they now want to try Scythe to see what... I'm that's the opposite of what I want.
You've had a very visceral reaction. It's like watching, wow, that film was the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah. It's now I've got to see the film. If you see a movie and it's it was okay, then I don't care. But if you were wow, that one, I bled from my eyes for 2 hours.
Now my hate has it's driving more people towards Scythe, and that's not what we want.
We were making that that was the joke we were making, and then it turns out that was actually what's happening.
The guerrilla marketing campaign.
So bad. I even told him that I think Ibrahim's trying to sell his copy because
he doesn't want it. Yeah. No. I don't know if he can sell it.
No one should buy it. He's trying to sell something terrible. Here, have a bag of shit. Anyway, Takenoko. Pandas.
back to the worst animal, pandas.
Yeah.
Slightly less nice. So the game, again, is like loosely similar. Like, it's a really easy kind of setup. The lore of the game, the deep lore, is that the Emperor of China has gifted a panda to the Emperor of Japan. But oh no, he's put him in his bamboo garden, and now the panda's eating all the bamboo.
Oh no.
And the gardener there who wants to grow bamboo and they're trying to, like, they're fighting each other. So the game is that you have tiles. Tiles are 3 different colors that will grow, as in real life, 3 different colors of bamboo. Like we all like
pastel red, pastel pink, pastel green, and yellow.
Yes, the healthy, normal bamboo colors that we want. And on your turn, basically, you'll pick kind of 2 actions that you'll do. You can build the garden up, so get new tiles and build out the space, so there's more space for bamboo to be grown and eaten. You can move the panda to a hex, like in a straight line, and the panda will eat a piece of bamboo.
Wait, so does everyone have their own panda?
No,
there's like one panda, one gardener in the center. And
okay.
we take it in turns to
move around the panda.
Yeah. So
but
there's one kind of
But you also build
garden.
the same garden.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, okay.
So everyone's playing in the same garden, building the same garden, and then eating and growing in the same garden. So if you move the garden to a hex, bamboo will grow there.
Gardener, yeah.
Yeah, what did I say?
Garden.
Gardener. English is hard.
You might be finished.
Yeah, we'll never know. It continues. So your action could be to grow particular bamboo or to move a panda and eat bamboo. And why would you want to do that? Well, you have like objective cards. And there's different types of objective cards. There's objectives for how the garden should look. So you might have an objective to have like 3 red bamboo tiles in a line. And you might have panda objective cards, which are you have to have 2 red bamboos in the panda's tummy. Because if you move the panda on your turn, the bamboo goes into your little sheet, and you have a little panda tummy.
No, so your own panda tummy of like,
yes.
what have you made the panda?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's gardener ones which they want to obviously grow the bamboo instead of eat the bamboo, so you want like 2 4-high bamboo stalks in yellow. That will score you points.
Okay.
And basically on your turn, then you can manipulate basically putting down tiles, moving the panda, moving the gardener, and then if any of these things trigger on your turn, you can trade in these objective cards, and basically at the end of the game, depending on the player count, like X number of objectives are scored. Everyone gets one more turn.
Do you get more objectives? You can keep getting more, or you have like a set amount.
On your turn, you can either you can move the panda. You can, in addition to moving the panda, like you always start by taking one like hex. I think.
You pick that.
Yeah. Sorry, you decide if you're taking a hex, if you're taking and placing a hex, or moving the panda, or like moving the gardener, or taking more objective cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can stock up on you can see basically what people are kind of going for. So if they're trying to grow a lot of things, either you can get gardener objectives and then just try and piggyback off what other people are doing.
Okay.
Or you'd be like, I'm going to eat a lot of bamboo and just get a lot of panda cards.
Okay.
Or you can be like me and tend to win by just top decking the best
I mean, that
emperor
is
cards. Yes. Emperor cards.
Top deck Ita is remarkable.
It never fails.
It's remarkable.
Yes, I think the most recent time we played, I ended up top decking one of the most highest valued emperor cards are the ones that are okay, which compilation are the tiles on. And you don't have to have placed them, you just have to be like, oh, look, there's already, someone has already made this thing on the table.
Yeah.
And I just oh, that's working. Oh, that...
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's pretty low level, pretty simple. You can, and it's not head-to-head because technically you don't know what people are going for.
No.
So anything you do could be helping or hindering other people. So it's not directly oh, I see that you're definitely going for that, so I'm going to try and screw you over. Because everyone has their own kind of things they're going for, but it's not directly head-to-head because you can't actively stop someone else.
No.
So if you were a super strategic gamer, you'll probably hate that because you can't. But on the other hand, it's a gateway game, right? It's supposed to be a bit more friendly, a bit more
quite
Cascadia
random, and also it's very, very cute.
It's cute. It's very cute. Cute little art. Cute
also,
little
there's this the deluxe version comes with a fairly sizable. I'm indicating a thing about the size of a half liter of Coke. And more wide of a panda statue that you can have.
But that will only enrage Simon.
Yeah, and it's incredibly expensive, but it's so cute.
It's what doesn't play any part in the game.
No.
It's just a panda statue.
You can you just buy the statue, or the game comes with like
the deluxe edition comes with
it.
like I think I because I remember looking at it because I think it might come in a tin box with a panda, and it's like obviously like I'm all for like the kitschy unnecessary pieces of like
the aesthetic of the game.
The aesthetic of the game, yes, exactly.
As we would say in the business. But yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of cute. Again, it's one of those things that you can just kind of open the box and pretty much start playing.
It's quite casual, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few rules, but other than that, and there's no writing on the cards.
I don't think I've ever tried to teach it to a new player. Like I played it with my ex, and then I played it with like you guys. I haven't I've never tried to actually onboard non-board gaming people onto it, but I think it would go well.
I mean, it depends. If they're into like the cute theme, if they're like. I'm into really like sci-fi war games. So like, well, here's a panda bamboo growing simulator. Maybe we should play this for a bit.
Yeah, maybe Takenoko is the next thing I'm trying to teach my mum. Like it's like it makes sense. You have a panda that wants to eat bamboo. You have a gardener who wants to grow bamboo, and you want to make pretty things.
Do you think your mum needs like a logical reason of why this is a game and why we're doing this?
She was saying as we were playing Cascadia, she was saying that she liked it because it had real animals and it made sense. Like it was hawks and moose and foxes instead of orcs and elves and shit. These are quite almost verbatim her words. Like just like these weird creatures instead of like. But she liked having real animals that make sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm inclined to agree with that. Like the theme of the game, I think, is a pretty heavy portion of why I like certain things. Because mechanically, I don't think, like, say if Takenoko wasn't a panda and a gardener, and it was like an evil empire building up armies, and then you move the rebels to take out, ships.
It would not be interesting.
It's like, great.
Or like building like skyscrapers.
Yeah. Also, death towers. Stuff.
Like multiple Sauron's eyes. Like they just.
Yeah.
If it wasn't very cute and like obviously casual, it wouldn't work.
But I think it's good that there's like now modern games where themes are a bit not as expected. Like they're not just either bland sci-fi stuff or Lord of the Rings style, like, these are the elves, these are the humans, these are the dwarves. Like there are just games like Wingspan where it's like it's just birds, a lot of birds. You want to look at some birds, get them to lay eggs. I assume that gives you points.
I've played Wingspan once.
I've never played Wingspan. I mean, apparently it's really good.
It's pretty, but it's a very heavily engine game, and I played it with like random people at Cafe Board Game, and it was like people who were really into engine games.
Yeah, they'll be going for it.
Those people.
Yes.
Yeah. No, but I mean, obviously the theme is important, and it's like it's interesting how you can like reskin games and then change almost the theme kind of completely. So what comes to mind is like Libertalia, or like the new version of Libertalia, which is the old version that's been out of print for a long time is basically like we're all pirates on the same ship, and it's incredibly like fighty. Of like we try to play cards to collect the most loot, and some of my cards, if I play a card, you're just dead from that, and you get no loot this turn. It's just that. It's really like sort of grungy, piratey, like more like Pirates of the Caribbean, but actually like for adults.
Yeah.
And now they've made a new version, which is it's still that game, but now you're like air pilots. So now they're like weird. They're no longer ships in water. They're the ships that kind of fly like blimps.
And you're like airships.
And you're like and you're like cute little animal critters on those ships.
That changed so much immediately.
And then now you're playing these cards of like, oh well, but it's still the same sort of cutthroat mechanic of like, fuck you and you're dead.
But I'm immediately interested now.
Oh yeah, really? Rather than the old school pirate.
Because I again when I saw that, because I wanted the old version, but I wanted the game because it seems like a fun game, but it's out of print everywhere, and like everyone's selling it eBay for a lot. And then they're so like, oh, there's a new print. And then I saw the theme of it, and I was like, I don't think I want it now.
Because airships and cute animals, I'm immediately on board.
But the theme is very trying to cut the legs out of, because the cards you play, everyone has exactly the same cards, and the cards you play once and then it's gone.
Okay.
So it's basically do I play the card that gives me money? But if I play this card and then someone plays the thief card, then their card beats my card.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Like okay.
So it's very kind of like.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm interested in the aesthetic of it, but I'm actually, now that you're explaining it, I understand what you mean. It would make more sense as the pirate game.
The aesthetic of it is it looks super pretty as the new version. It looks prettier than it looked previously, but like thematically it now makes less sense for these cute animals to like
be murdering each other
when these play. Like
I don't think they actually murder. Maybe they've just like you bonk him on the head.
Well, but maybe they've changed. But the previous game was like very sort of
It's not. So it's not Happy Tree Friends. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was. But the theme fits, I guess, more gritty pirate stuff. There's a callback. That is Paolo Mori. That's Dogs of War guy.
That is true.
Oh, okay.
And that slavery simulator pandemic one.
Yeah.
Of which we had very mixed feelings about the concept there, but just as a callback.
So yeah, I mean, theme does have an effect. I didn't mean that it doesn't have an effect. I was just asking that, like.
No,
I agree. I think it's most of it because there's things that like when they've reskinned games, and this is going to go a bit off. Well, there is no topic, but they reskinned. Do you know Ghost Stories?
We've
played
that.
Like, I really like Ghost Stories, and it's like you're protecting this Chinese village. You're, I don't know, like Taoist monks or something.
So how old is that game? Because
it's pretty old now. It's pretty old.
It gives me retro vibes. Anyway.
But they've reskinned it now as kind of a medieval fantasy tower defense kind of game. So like the orc hordes are coming in, and you're like your noble knights in the town protecting it.
Oh.
And that to me is like, even though if it's the same game, and maybe they've like refined it and maybe made it a bit smoother.
No more Buddhas.
No more Buddha boys.
Yeah.
Can't be done.
Yeah.
But I'm already less interested in that.
Yeah. Even if they would have made like a little bit better and smoothed out some things.
I think
because that's what they usually do. Because back to Libertalia. So one thing that they smoothed out that is like what I think that I would like the least about the game is that because you have the same cards, you're going to end up in like draws. You play the same card. So who wins? It's predetermined that like I don't know, A, B, C, D. A cards always win, and one person will have all the A cards because that's like your person. And like every tie is like someone is going to have the best version of those cards, and they will always win. And then they reskin it. The new one, there's like this reputation system of like when you play a douchey card, you move down reputation. So then if you're in a tie, you're less likely to do it. Okay. And there's like this little kind of a thing where like you can be. If you're more of an asshole early, then you are worse at being like tied in the end. And there's like just a little thing that just I think makes a lot more sense than start of the game. We have all the same cards, except mine are a little bit better.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but I also think that would make sense for the pirate version of it, because like you want to play nice with people until it's time to really stab for them for the loot. Like it's like I like the idea of it. Okay.
Yeah. But still, even if they fix that, I don't want to buy that.
Yeah, like now that like we talked about this.
Not.
Like I would like. I'm glad that we had this conversation now, because if I were to run into a game that has like airships and cute animals, I would immediately buy it. But after this game, like this conversation, like
I think it's still a really good game, and the mechanic is cool, and I like the idea of like everyone starting with the exact same cards and then playing, and then you don't play all your cards. So next round, I save my cards, but maybe you save different cards, and then you pick up different cards, and then like it sort of snowballs into.
Yeah,
the mismatch between theme and like...
Yeah, because imagine if you did, like, I got out Takenoko and, like, set it up and, like, this is a bamboo garden, this is the...
And now you impale the panda.
And our job is to stop an impending nuclear apocalypse, and it's a really cutthroat kind of... Like, whoa, I thought this was a cute panda game. It's actually... No.
Yeah, no, this is now you're going to impale the panda on the bamboo sticks that you've sharpened. I was like,
a noble sacrifice must be made to avert war. Like, oh, God...
I'm kind of intrigued.
I think that says more about you than the...
probably, yeah. But also, like, the fact that I'm, like, when you said about, like, reskinning Ghost Stories and, like, medieval knights and whatever, and I was immediately like, nah, not interested, even though that should be my fucking, like, it should be my jam, and it's not.
But I'm also sure that someone has looked at that and gone like, oh, cool, it's medieval stuff, that's my favorite thing, and they're like, oh, I didn't really care about putting Buddhas everywhere, I just wanted, like, medieval tower defense.
But you have like so many options if you're into medieval tower defense and medieval, like, whatever shit.
Yeah, well, it comes and goes, like, themes. Like, the old school, like, Germanic trading in the Mediterranean cube pushing games. It's like, what's a great theme? Ooh, 17th century German agriculture? Like, yeah, let's keep doing those.
Hansa Teutonica.
What do we think is like, what do you guys think is currently like one of those things that like the theme that is like popping up right now? Because I have no idea what's happening in the like overall trends in gaming at the moment. Like,
there's a shit ton of like Cthulhu stuff. Just because you don't need to pay for rights. So, like, every Fantasy Flight one is Cthulhu. Cthulhu Death May Die, Cthulhu Wars.
Death May Die is pretty... Like, we could talk about Death May Die at one of these points.
I've never played it, but I've heard it's
I've owned it, and I got it mostly for the miniatures, and I painted some of the miniatures.
Oh, do you actually have it?
I have it. Like, I got it from
Mikko. What is it?
It's a Cthulhu. It's kind of like
dungeon crawler-ish.
It has some like it kind of feels like it has some like not legacy but like story campaign style like mechanics to it. How you play them, like you have these like scenarios. It's kind of like similar-ish, at least in theme, to like most of the Cthulhu games, like eldritch horror or whatever. And it's like you play people. I haven't played this in such a long time. Oh god! Like you play random like Cthulhu style game where you're playing random humans who have like some powers, and you're trying to stop an impending horror of like waking up the Yellow King or Cthulhu or whatever. Like, and there's cultists, and it's basically you're like
there's like cool minis and
very like I have the fucking Yellow King is about. I'm again indicating something about the size of a like.
It's about the size of a deluxe panda from the from the Takenoko.
Yeah, but it's so intricate, and I painted it like 2 years ago now, I think, and now I'm like I should repaint it because it's such an amazing mini, and I wasn't very good at painting minis at the time yet. But like there's still a lot of minis that I haven't painted from that game. But I've been meaning to, like one of my neighbors actually wants to play it, and I've been meaning to loan it to him or play with him, but scheduling. So. But like we should also play it at some point because it is a well liked game. It's a very pretty game, and it has like a lot of things in it that are like things that I think we all like.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I'll play any game except for Scythe.
It's actually a reskin of Scythe.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
I mean, Scythe needs to be reskinned into Hansa Teutonica. That's where it needs to happen. Anyway, but I think we should try. And this is never going to happen. I think we should try like play a game and then immediately record a podcast about that game, like a new game that we've done, like that game, or like Root,
first impressions,
or like Root, for example. Like we could just play that and then like discuss it.
We need.
Yeah, I want to play Root.
I think thinking of like reskinning or like games that don't really fit the theme. I'm not sure if Root, like the cute woodland critters, but then it's like it's not really a worry game, but it's quite cutthroat in a way as
punchy.
well.
But also,
it's very cute little animals, and everything's very cute, and then it's still quite punchy. So I don't think
I would like it. This is a hot take because I guess we're going to talk about Root at some point in the future. I think we have to. I don't know if I would like Root as much if it was like fantasy themed, like you're in a woodland. Like, so the cats are like the woodland elves.
Yeah,
birds are humans.
Yeah,
you know, then there's a lone kind of dragonborn walking around. I think I would like that less than cute animals.
Or imagine if it was like the Root but with TI races.
So it's like in a space wood.
Yes.
In the space woods.
Into the space woods.
In the like, have you guys read the okay, this is now completely off topic, but like the 3-body problem and the Dark Forest trilogy.
No.
Because that was just where my brain went with like forest and space, but never mind then.
Okay.
It's by
I shall leave it there then.
It's a
no further comment.
No, it is a very well liked like sci-fi like trilogy. The first book especially is excellent, and I recommend it.
It's about space wood animals.
No.
Oh.
It starts off in pre-industrial revolution China.
Okay, as you do.
As you.
Okay,
I will not elaborate further. Okay. You should read the
book. I will answer no further questions about this trilogy. Well, I'm intrigued. At least.
Yeah, it's
Final thoughts about Takenoko?
What's the probability score of Takenoko?
Takenoko, it's got to be like, just for probability alone, like 9 or 10 out of 10.
But then you will lose the bamboo pieces.
Only if you're really drunk. But there's a little holder, there's an insert in the box.
Yeah.
But someone, the last time we played, someone was really bad at stacking the bamboo. I think Oleg was really bad at stacking the bamboo. I have this memory, I don't know.
Maybe there's some sort of underlying problem. He also hates bamboo. He had a bamboo-related incident as a child, and he didn't want to say anything about it.
Maybe, but I think, to be fair, I think it should be fine. So it's not like the most, like it doesn't have that many small bits to it. The things are brightly colored, so you'll easily find them even in Kaisla floor. So probability about
Kaisla
9.
floor ability is this.
So
the
we
new
talked about 2 very poppable games today, then Cascadia and Takenoko. So I think Cascadia is pretty poppable as well.
It's insanely poppable. Yeah, that's down to.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's not as good as Alhambra, but what can be?
If you could make it like.
Would you play Takenoko versus Alhambra? I know they're more different to each other than Cascadia and Alhambra, but which one would you? It's hard to say like which one would you rather play because like it depends on the mood and like the people around.
Takenoko is very very chill. I think the chillness that you get from Cascadia is the chillness I get from Takenoko.
Okay.
Because it's not very thick. It's like, I'll try and get a green tile. Yeah, okay. I'll move the panda and eat some bamboo. Like, it's not very... You physically can't kind of stress about it, really.
To be fair, you shouldn't be able to stress about Alhambra either.
I mean, that says a lot about your anxiety levels.
You shouldn't be able to stress about Cascadia either. Like,
then where's the salmon, Simon? Where's the salmon? I've been waiting 20 minutes for a salmon to come out.
You shouldn't be able to stress about that. And if there's one negative thing I have to say about Cascadia, it's that the prairie tile looks like desert.
The desert.
Yes.
And I don't know why it's called the prairie when it's clearly just a desert.
We've never heard of the prairies or the desert of Seattle.
This is like the problem I was trying to explain to my grandfather. Like, you have to put the salmon in the desert.
Yeah, it's like
I mean that's just
the elusive prairie salmon.
The most delicious of all.
It's like this doesn't make any sense. Why is there a prairie salmon?
Help me!
Like sometimes they don't really they shouldn't live where they are. So I think
like I find myself trying to explain. Yeah, like it's the general biome. There's still even on the prairie. There's going to be some rivers, I guess, and just
the rivers and something. Well, other than that minor break in theme for one tile, it's a pretty good game.
Yeah, and I want to play like Cascadia with Tom to see how bad can you
will
actually be.
You will definitely beat me in that
also
game.
he takes like his turns also take so long.
So it's like playing with my grandfather.
It takes TI levels of turns.
Oh my god!
It's not that bad.
No.
I mean, it's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. It's not great.
And it's all.
Incredibly chill game.
It's so
except
bad. It's so bad.
There is a point where I'm just like, well, I'm giving up on everything. I'm giving up on bear families. I'm giving up on biomes. These are just random foxes. It's like just a mess. And then everyone else seems to be complaining and then just smashing points. It's like, I'm having such a hard time. Oh, such a hard time. How many points you got? 250 points. Like, well, obviously you didn't have a hard time. I can show you what a hard time looks like.
No.
I've picked up 12 hawks. Why did I do that?
That's a lot. That's like 28 points.
Like hawks. Hawks are
so
great.
many. Hawks are
not
so
only
many
in the
points.
basic seller, in the line of sight one. Anyway, this is getting very like hawks could be shit.
Yeah, again, I've only played the base
I like the line of sight one.
Oh, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare for me. Everything's a nightmare in nature. Why can't there be more fracking?
Again, the anti-Disney princess is the situation.
Cascadia fracking edition coming soon.
I'm trying to think of like who are the bad guys in Disney films. In Disney films.
It's the hunter that shoots Bambi's mom.
Yeah, I'm on his side. What about his story? Why does the kid get a story? What about this real interesting fella? He knows what it's about. And on that bombshell, should we wrap this up? I don't know. You can tune in next time, I guess, when we're recording another one. You can also follow us maybe on OnlyFans. Has that been set up yet?
I haven't set that up yet, but it's coming.
It's right on the edge.
Anytime soon.
And if you want to see, I assume 3 pictures of us recording. We're also on Instagram.
Yeah, but we've got followers now. Like an actual number, I cannot remember. Maybe.
Have we taken a picture of today's
No, we haven't
recording
yet.
session?
Maybe I should do that. I will do it live.
Oh, it's a live picture.
I'll cut this out.
You look incredibly hungover and.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Is it a good picture?
No.
It's just.
That's even better. You have your hand in front of your face.
Usually, a lot of people have like a countdown to a photo.
No,
I like it.
We're doing it realistically. Yeah. No, I have 2 great photos where you look like. No, these are excellent now.
Don't worry, it will come across.
But it's on like we're called Board with Fins on Instagram, which makes perfect sense. And we have, I will now tell you, 14 followers.
That's huge. That's more than I have on Instagram.
That's true.
That's more than I would have on Instagram.
Yeah, theoretically, even if I was on it. All right. Well, with that, I will say goodbye. It's goodbye from me. Is it goodbye from you guys as well?
Yeah, it's a goodbye.
It's a mild bye.
Mild byes all around. All right. Well, with that, we'll see you next time.